back.
Oh, how dare you! I
Yay.
mean, welcome back. You then back just in time. I was gonna say, well, we could at least get the we can start the carts moving here and get you going. But you're back. I'll put on some sort of ambient music, at least to me it is, and we'll keep on a moving. Okay, so the party surrendered fully to the overwhelming might of the adventuring party, the true heroes in this story, who also pretend to have the authority to arrest people when they have absolutely no authority or jurisdiction to do so. But you know what? This is D&D, and not only were town guards killed, but the adventuring party is taking the criminals in to people who are the actual authorities here. So we are hitting all of the beautiful, beautiful stereotypes of a D&D session, and I love it.
Yes, but we're subverting the tropes because we're the other side.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you're the monsters, but maybe this just means it's a universal, it's a thematic consistency through all D&D adventures and dimensions and planes. All right, so the trip the trip is not as long. Some time has passed, of course, and there is a contingent of Casimirs up here. I mean, guards waiting for you to finish because you're much closer to the top than you are to the bottom, and there we go. So they have come out, and I mean, we can just, like, move your gelatinous cubes, I mean, that are totally wagons. Although they kind of look like, maybe this was said before, they kind of look like mattresses.
Yeah, they do.
There we go. All right, so you're rounding the corner, you're coming up to the, to here. Most of them look the same as the other guards you encountered. However, the last two in the lines would be more along the lines of a leader, probably a little bit more, tough or armored or stronger. I will say, Tinkerbell, at some point in time during this, your wings will finally get their powderiness back. So you do have that ready to go if you need it at any point.
Sweet.
I'm just gonna talk up sorting board on the way.
Yeah.
Helping.
What do you want to tell him? Because you're in the lead cart here with Tinkerbell.
Mm-hmm.
I am like just flirting.
Okay.
That's all that's going on. I'm like, hey, you come here often. You know, what are you doing tonight? Stuff like that.
I'm sorry, sir, but I have arrested you in the name of justice. I'm not here to be solicited. Not by a murderer.
But we're not murderers.
Self-defense. They attacked me. Are you saying you've never killed anyone? Strong adventuring man like you.
I have defeated many a foe.
So you're not innocent.
I might not have killed anyone, but I've defeated many foes.
Neither have we.
I literally saw you chop people in half.
We've defeated foes. We haven't killed anyone.
Meanwhile, just looking
not
over your
murder, if
shoulder, there's
anything,
just like
it's
this
manslaughter.
red wash, like in the road. Look, I'm not here to judge you. You gave up. You understood the situation. You did what was right, and I want to do what's right as well. What I know in my heart would be asked of someone who's been given a mercy or has realized the error of their ways. and I'm taking you in. And
But how
that's
are we
that.
wrong?
But how about you just take me out? Or I could take you that way.
No, I'm holding your weapon, and I told you I wouldn't be violent with you. Why would I take you out?
Oh no, I meant like to the bar.
Dinner.
Maybe a few drinks.
I believe that you need to face justice first, sir. And this is probably the place to do it, or at least the closest place for a very, very long way.
So after justice, then.
Why don't you just hop down and...
Don't you think that he's a really, really strapping gnome? I'm kind of like pushing into the suggestion.
I don't believe that you have as many straps as Belt does. Though I do admire your strength. He doesn't seem to he'd be catching on very well.
I mean, I do enjoy when they're close.
Oh boy, the next one is the body cart. As you're saying this as well, he's not even like getting flustered. It's just I don't think he's really like totally getting what you're doing. Because yeah, I mean, he's like, oh, you're so strapping, and he's just like, all he can do is think about Belt and how many straps that he has. And Crimson, you just don't have as many as Belt does.
Be direct, Crimson.
That's not good at flirting etiquette, though. You can't just be direct.
That's human. That's human logic. Don't tell me you're falling into human logic already.
No, that's just how mortals flirt.
You all
What
are...
you want.
Let me indicate these. There we go. Pink dots are the like the leaders of each of these little squads. As you all are, I mean, you two are telepathically like, come on, make her move, dude. That's not how humanoids work. You pull into the large flat area outside of the magically locked doors, and there's a contingent of these similar guards anyway, and all the wagons, despite the order here, do pull in, and all of you are told that you need to dismount, and you'll be brought inside in groups, so that you can be questioned as to what happened down there. Anything
Yeah,
in
so
reply?
while we're on the way up
flirting is
here,
going on.
yeah, while the flirting is happening, Mitty is going to exit the body of the merchant,
Okay.
and now that no one is paying attention and he has been suitably disguised as a corpse, he will go ahead and complete the process of corpseification by
A cantrip,
exiting
you can do it all the
body.
time.
Yes, by exiting the body, and it seems as though there's not really any like Crimson is going to have Crimson's bag, and I'm not sure that Crimson's bag is as safe as it usually is. So probably just find a nook in the wagon to hide in. I mean, as the intellect devourer, Pearl or Mitty is a tiny sized creature, so there ought to be a box or
Yeah, you can hide in the little
nook.
the chest that is under the writer's bench where the merchant
Yeah.
kept the weapons.
Perfect. So yeah, that's where Mitty will be.
All right.
Belt is still driving the cart.
Yep. Very good. We got a brain in a box. And so yeah, you're hiding. The groups are asked to, I guess form up in a sense. And this would end up being, well, he's with the adventuring party. Sword and Board here is claiming to be the bringer inner of you two. And then, of course, we have the other party that's here. I'm going to move the carts out of the way for convenience. We have... So there's the party, and then there's the 2 surviving merchants here. And then, of course, well, and then we have Belt, who's with that group. And Mitty can stay with the wagons and the animals if you want. But the other humanoids are gathering up so that they can either be addressed or whatever by the guards. Do you want to stay in the wagon, or do you want to do something else? Oh, I can't.
Who do you mean me?
Yeah, is Mitty doing it? Do you want to sneak with any of the people, or do you want to stay in the cart?
Well, I mean, if everyone's leaving the carts behind, Mitty will have to do something. But
yes, but also the word inspection was used.
Oh, that's not good. We don't like. Well, I mean, the funny thing is, anyone who accidentally spots us, that they may not. Well, it depends on how you roll, right? Like if somebody spots me and it's like, hey, look what this is, and I just like, yeah, what about it?
If it helps, you have 1, 2. You have 2 +1s. You're floating. Tankerbell has 2. Crimson has 2, and there's actually I apparently have 1 that I missed. Because it said give the DM more chaos, so it didn't say my name or whatever, and DM was in the middle of the sentence next to the also capital letters KAOS. So I'm apparently floating 1, and each of you have 2 +1s that you're floating.
I do like +1s,
and we all have advantage that we can use by the end of the session. Ooh. I mean, really, I guess if we don't use it by the end of the session, at least in the side story, these characters have advantage. But yeah, Thantos did very kindly grant you all a Fickle God's favor of giving you a side story advantage, or whatever, an inspiration point.
I like that. That's very good. Okay. Well. Yeah, I mean, Mitty is going to try to stay hidden as best as he can.
Okay.
So hopefully, like if everybody's leaving the carts behind and going somewhere, he'll probably try to scurry along, or maybe, join up with the group somehow. Does Belt have any kind of pouch or bag that he could ride in?
A belt pouch?
A belt pouch, for example? Yes.
Well, Belt would need a rather sizable sack to ride in, but Pearl...
No. Yeah, no, does Belt have a sack that Mitty could ride in?
Oh, gotcha. No. I mean, like, he could grab one off of a cart, and because he just throw one over his shoulder. But he travels rather lightly.
That's not inconspicuous enough for my taste. No, all right, Mitty's gonna have to stay hidden then in the cart.
Okay. You can hide in the box, or you can hide amongst the corpses if you wish.
In the box is probably better.
Sure. Okay. The group then is going to, or the guards, I mean, are going to end up moving this way in order to address each of the adventuring party and then the others that were found. And then over here, the surviving merchants with the cart are going to be... question with the leader here. And then the other 3 are going to walk amongst the carts and start looking them over to see what's there, to see if there's any other stowaways or passengers. So, this could be an opportunity for you or not. You can either lie low, or we're going to have a point where the guard is going to, you can hear the guard rattling on the bench, on the driver's bench, and you're gonna, well, I guess you don't hear it because you're weird, because you're a brain. But you have blind sense and also the mind sense. You can tell someone's getting closer. But anyway, in the cinematic sense, we have a guard here, while everyone else is off talking and gonna do whatever they're doing, is going to open the box and look in and kind of like give a curious look and like, what is? And do you either not want to be there or do you want to face hug?
So he looked in the box and spotted me, is
well,
what it seems like?
Maybe spotted you. He's kind of curious, like he's kind of like, oh, well, what do we have here? And he's like just opening up because he's like, I found a secret stash of something.
No, I still want to stay hidden unless I'm unambiguously spotted, in which case I'll eat him.
Sure. Make a stealth then.
Okay. Ooh, I have that.
Oh, that's a 5. And that's more than a 5. So yeah, you hear that and you kind of like back out to a corner because it's sort of like a not like a smuggling. It's like not super hidden, but it is definitely like a box just built underneath the riding cushion. So he's kind of confused, like, I found something. Opens it up, and then there's just a kind of like, what is this? And there's a like, he's going out to grab you.
Okay. Well, then in that case, we know what's going to happen.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have another brilliant guard? Yes, we do. Wow, this is... so yeah, you go to like mind blank him, just kind of give him the old psychic damage, and there's just like a whoa sound as he'll stumble back, startled by something that's inside here. Now, rewind. Meanwhile, across the courtyard, the parties are going to be addressed by the various guards. Now, I'm not worried about the merchants down here. That's going to be, that'll be whatever. As we come over here, the leader of this squad is going to start with the adventuring party, and we'll be discussing things with them. While that's happening, you two are off on the side with sword and board. Is there anything that you want to say or do? You're being watched by these guards. They're not really asking you anything, but they're also not getting too close. You haven't been addressed yet. But if you want to talk amongst yourselves and say anything, you can.
We didn't do anything wrong, right, Crimson?
It was self-defense.
It was
They attacked me.
Mm-hmm. Only because I embiggened you?
Yes, you probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, they looked like they were going to take us back down the trail, and I didn't want them to do that.
I mean, we could have just rolled with it and then gotten out of it.
Oh, we're doing that now?
Yeah, no.
Regret means that you have empathy. That's an admirable trait, says Sword and Board.
I was assuming that we were talking telepathically.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, whatever. He'll randomly just like turn to you and say that. He likes dispensing fortune cookie knowledge. As you two are standing there. He wants to try and contribute something to the awkward silence that's happening.
No, I'm so actively flirting.
Oh.
Just like we're having two conversations. One conversation is flirting, the other is like we shouldn't have done it.
I could use a rest. I am sore.
Oh, you're sore.
I didn't want them to hurt you.
Oh, they did.
Meanwhile, there's holes. Yeah.
I'm not hurt. What do you mean?
Tinkerbell is like sulking right now.
While all this is happening, you hear a voice in your brain, Tinkerbell, that says, "Do you have your polymorph left?"
No.
Used it earlier.
I used
That's
it earlier.
Do you have anything left?
I have
Besides
a mirror
Druidcraft.
mirror image hallucinatory terrain in my cantrips.
Oh, hallucinatory terrain isn't on the pixie sheet, so I didn't know you had that.
Yeah.
Mirror image and cantrip. What do you have cantrips?
Dancing lights, mage hand, and minor illusion. I have nothing useful.
Minor illusion is frequently quite useful.
It's frequently quite useful.
Wait, you can illusion a medallion on me.
But it is also a once per day, even though it is a cantrip. It's just cantrip power.
Yeah, I can only use it once per day.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. So everything on my spell sheet is once per day.
Do you have the at-will Druidcraft?
No.
Okay.
But what Tinkerbell can do is swap out any second level or higher spell for an embiggen.
Oh, which also means I don't have my mirror image today.
Oh, because you had to burn that for your embiggen?
I had my hair. I burned it for embiggen.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. I'm on
I
my
have
own.
hallucinatory terrain.
Nervous
That's all I
brain
have
sweating.
left.
Yes. Brain sweating.
Big ol' enemy sweat
Yeah.
drop.
It's sweating spinal fluid.
Yeah.
Well, I got names lined up.
The leader comes over after a little bit of time here talking with them. Stands here across from you, Crimson. I understand that you were the ones responsible for that massacre down there, beyond the abominations that were put down.
It was self-defense. They attacked me.
And why did they attack you?
Because the lying son of a bitch, the merchant that I was traveling with decided to lie about me.
Are you sure it didn't have anything with you doubling in size and savagely attacking the guards?
They attacked me first.
Mm-hmm.
After I doubled in size, but I didn't want to double in size. That was also an accident.
It was wild magic.
Wild magic.
Wild magic. It's been more prominent lately, didn't you know?
Really?
Hmm. It's been happening all over Upt. It's been happening all over Lacuna. It's been happening all over Mesomasca. As far as I know, I've never been there. But
He whistles over, and this other leader, like, he stops you in the middle of your expansive list. A not untrue list, but an expansive list. Whistles, and these two actually walk back here, and they are talking with each other. As this is happening, there's a whoa, and one of the guards seems to like stumble back from one of the wagons. There's something in there, and this other one comes running over. What are you talking about? In the box. It's been 6 seconds, by the way. So, what? It's probably a smuggler's box. Is this your first time examining a cart? And the other one is going to come up and bloop, plop his, like, let's see. No, I swear there's something in there.
Okay. Well, I would like to repeat the previous attempt, which is to stay hidden unless spotted.
Sure.
And if spotted, then I will attempt to eat him.
Sure. Go ahead and hide.
10.
Ah.
That's a 10 and a 10.
And that's a crit. I have the most competent guards ever! Such is the power and fury of the Dungeon Master. This will never happen again in my entire DM career.
The dice gods are smiling on you, Matt.
Yeah.
Smiling on you today.
All right. Well, remember, each of you are floating 2 +1s and a inspiration. But yeah, so he's like, no, there is. What is? What is?
Well, what it is 5 damage. Come on. 2d10 for 5 damage.
Oh, wow. This one actually fails, though.
Okay, so it's...
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we get then. 14.
All right. Well, that'll happen on the next round, though.
Well, no,
Isn't
the devour intellect to
the devour intellect. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was the int to bite.
Well, it is. It's part of devour intellect. It's not part of body thief.
Okay.
So that's the stun effect.
Yeah.
Happens
Okay.
Right away.
So yeah, he's like, what is? And then there's just like, blink, and he just kind of like slumps into it, and the other guy is like, dude, are you all right? Meanwhile, back across here, it looks like the others are. I mean, the 2 leaders are still talking with each other about something pretty intensely. But the other, this guard over here, actually, we have the one by the merchants. Let's go. Did this one notice anything? You're the closest. Yeah. Kind of turns and is looking over. Is everything all right? And by saying that, the others don't leave their posts. They don't leave their posts, but they do kind of look over and see that the 2, like there's one that's just sort of like half hanging out of like this bin that's hidden into the like a trunk that's underneath the riding seat. And there's another one that's kind of like, hey dude, what's going on? And the third one is just sort of going about his business with the other carts. Do you want to say or do anything, or do you want to let this play out?
I'm just watching.
Or
Okay.
behaving, because it was self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and actually, Belt, because he's the driver of this cart. Right?
Yeah.
So he is going to try to create a distraction by just hopping down, or actually, I mean, the box is under the seat, right? So he would have had to be there anyway. So he'll just come over and be like, what have you found?
Okay, sure. You, what have you found?
Yeah, he's only trying to buy 2 or 3 seconds for the, for Mitty to, to get
Eat brains.
Yeah.
to finish consuming the brains.
You start moving over there. Like you're not being you're quick because you're a barbarian, but you're like, oh, what's on my cart? And this other guard he's not like chasing you with a weapon. He's like, sir, you have to come back. You can't leave. But that's as far as he can get as you're going to check in. And this one just sort of like takes a step over, so that he's still kind of on the group, but is closer. And then we have the Fae being very good here under suspicion. Although Sword and Board's gonna look over. Be careful if there's any more trickery, Belt. We really missed you in that last fight. You could have helped pull that merchant off this one.
I am very sorry. I will try much harder next time. The finger wagglers. I have always preferred large axe to finger waggles.
Ahem, says Sparkle Fingers. and Sky Talker just kind of goes, heh.
Look, I'm just very good at holding on to men.
Excellent.
The one leader here does look over to hear what's going on, and then says, "I'm checking on it, sir. Don't worry." Maybe this is an aspiring leader for another group here, but this means that we're into another roundish time frame. So, how is this going to play out?
Well, Mitty will trigger Body Thief on the stunned, the stunned
Computer.
guy as soon as he can.
Sure, let's roll it.
Well, he's intelligence 0.
Oh,
so-
I'm sorry. Yeah, this isn't like the last one, so we don't even need to. You just swap in.
Yes. Yeah. So, poof, and then he'll pick up the short sword that's in there.
Sure. Okay.
And take that out and say to the other guard, "Oh, you're so silly. It's just a sword." Of course, the smuggler keeps a weapon in his box in case he's attacked for self-defense. Makes perfect sense. Nothing special here. Maybe a couple of gold pieces hidden in there as well, if you want to take another look.
I swore there's an animal or something in there.
Could be a raccoon, possibly, or a squirrel.
Smuggling squirrels?
No, probably just sneaking in there for possibly smelled some food that had been in there previously.
Oh. I'll tell you, I met a guy once who smuggled plums. It was very impressive. Now, fine. We got to get back to the. We got to get back to the others here. But he's gonna like hop up and take one last look inside, and just is like absolutely baffled. Like, I swear there was something in here. Does Belt, you're close. Do you want to do or say anything?
No, he'll just kind of throw his arms up in the air and say, it was nothing. Return back to where I was.
I mean, there was a sword in there, but that's understandable. And this guy is gonna, not as quickly as you, but he's gonna apparently stretch through time and space. And hang on, there we go. All right, that's a little better.
It's that relativistic length alterations.
You did, like, you passed by him so quickly with your barbarian speed. He just had like a Doppler effect, just of. All right, and so this one goes back to just talking here with the other merchants. Like, there's a little head scratching. There's a couple laughs. There's also some pointed fingers, especially over at the Fae group here. And this one's gonna come over to talk with you all, and of course, I mean, you are the guard. You can vouch for what you saw, quote unquote.
Of course. Now, did I get a senior guard or just a random guard?
Random, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, he will just say he thought he saw something, but it was probably a raccoon. All I saw in there was a sword. Actually, maybe the light glinting off of the sword is what attracted the raccoons. You know how much they love shiny things.
Now your stat line is guard, as per guard on 347.
Okay, wonderful.
There you go, nice and easy. Okay, this one's gonna come back over, and is going to tell you that you all are going to be escorted into the tower for further questioning, especially if you have shown signs of the infection that causes wild magic.
Action.
Yes, it's a terrible thing. But fortunately, the masters of the tower are adept at treating this infection.
So Mitty would know what the average guard would know about this so-called infection. So what is the lore that Mitty would have there?
It has to do with the flowers. You all have been told it's some sort of flower sickness, which it would be. I mean, as far as the guard knows, I mean, what's a germ? What's a pollen allergy? But it's described as something that happens if you are around the flowers too long, or it has something to do with those really strange but really pretty flowers that they've been growing in the tower and elsewhere. I mean, you'd be aware just naturally that patches of them have been found growing in places, especially in the north of Mesomasca.
Right, of course. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to take you inside the tower, and I want you to know that there will be no trickery. There will be no funny business. There are very skilled masters of the magical craft inside.
We intend no funny business.
Only serious business.
As serious as I can be, yes.
Now, is flirting serious or silly? I'm trying to get through this to this bonehead.
I don't know why you'd want to flirt at a time like this. As well...
I just can't resist. I can't resist cute boys.
He stops in the middle of what he's saying. He looks at the other one. Yeah, get a bucket of cold water ready. Are you infected
Hand
as
over
well?
your bowed instruments.
Is that why you look like you do? What are you?
Me?
Wait, say that again.
This is the leader to Tinkerbell. Asked if she's infected. Like, what are you? As he's talking to a cat-sized person who flies.
I've been affected by wild magic.
You too.
I got really, really short.
I see. Yeah. Well, you're going in as well. That's strange. Anyway. Follow me. And he gets the, he gets them up here and is whistling for the other to come over since they're going to finish the card inspections. And this one can come up as well. And the merchants can come in too. The two leaders step up. And they end up presenting something on their necks. You can't see what it is, but they reach up and they hold something out and they seem to fidget and put something back. The magic around the lock goes down. And there's a stern knock on the door. And they're waiting. They start talking a bit. Says, knock harder. Fine. Team.
Is nobody home?
No, they are. They might not be listening. Pull. And the guards have little handles that they can hold on to, and they begin to open up. The doors open, maybe 5-6 feet, and there's someone who comes bursting out and is actually screaming. And the two leaders, what's going on? What's the matter? Just incoherent, even kind of like a weird, almost like a gravelly gargle that it takes place. And as he runs from the doors, I don't know if you want to step aside or if you want to be right there, Tanker Bell, but you're welcome to. Either way, you all can have like a reaction. And...
I'm watching eagerly.
Okay, you're in for a hell of a show then. Number one, this individual begins to have little motes of light just sort of like fly up from his skin as he comes running out, and then falls to his knees, like clutching at his like skin in his throat, and you see that he's shaking and shivering, and the one that's closest to him is asking him what's going on, while this one just sort of instinctively takes up, like, is in the center, nobody move, and is trying to control the rest of the situation here.
It's a vampire.
Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom.
Tries to talk, and no real words come out. It's more of like a weird, raspy, throaty sound.
I'm just kind of cocking my head at it.
And as you watch, in a moment, just stringy roots burst out of the mouth of this vampire. And even like now you can see like under the flesh it ripples and roils, and just these little vines begin to like crawl out and around as this thing just like curls down, and before your eyes in a matter of moments it just almost turns into a supine looking plant person. Moves, talks, breathes, gurgles, no more. And also stops giving off motes of light.
Well, how about that?
That's unfortunate.
That doesn't happen a lot,
And he
does
says, damn, something must have happened in one of the labs. Everyone in? Containment protocol? Looks to you all. If you need help for your sickness, this is your only chance. Come inside.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Skirt around him.
He goes in. And the others look, and Sparkly Fingers is like, of course, this is our big chance. And they move in as well. This leader stays out and whistles for the others to come back from examining the carts.
Yeah, is Mitty expected to stay with the guards, or is Mitty supposed to go into the, like, per guard protocol, expected to go into the tower?
Yeah, you've been called back to your leader, and you're to go back in the tower until you're told otherwise.
Wonderful. Then that's just Ducky. And Belt will stay with his party, of course.
Oh, of course. You're adventurers. You got to stick together. You never split the party. However, the merchants are very content to stay out with their carts and not go into a ominous tower filled with vampires where one of them just ran out and turned into a tree.
That's unfortunate.
They're probably the smart ones.
Yeah. I'm not very smart.
And
SMRT.
And then pulling the doors closed is going to be the leader and the guards, as you all have entered the tower. Now, what we'll do is I think we're going to conclude the side adventure here with you having entered the tower. You have found out that something is amiss, and well, I don't know, something weird with plants is going on. So with what I had planned to run in the tower, I don't think we have enough time to do another meaningful segment without it going late. And so I'll end up calling it here, and we'll pick this up on another Tuesday, whether it's this next one or the one after or whenever. The game is saved here, as this is very directly the tab called Side Game Save. And and here I'll even make a note to myself. So here we have shit's going down. Excellent. All right. So there's the note to myself to pick up where we had left off. You all, if you want to add it somewhere in your character sheets, but you all have a well, I guess between the two intellective hours, you're sharing an inspiration. Unless Thantos or another fickle god wants to throw in another one. But you all can float this inspiration point on these characters into the tower for when we return to find out what just happened and why a vampire ran out and got choked out by vines. So thank you all. Thank you all very much for hanging out. It was another fun Tuesday. I hope you've been enjoying the side story where it's kind of a low-level monster adventure. That does... There are points to all this. Hopefully the players are getting some fun little nods and winks with things. But if you haven't, then hey, stay tuned and you might get some fun side content. And certainly come back and visit us every Tuesday you can, because the game is in its final story arc. And just as I saw here that Crimson likes spicy stuff, I think the story will only continue to get spicy. And Bane resubbed following his own advice and wait. You were talking to Thracian about that. Like, don't do it in the middle. We gotta wait for the end. Thank you for re-upping, Bane. I very much appreciate it. Now I'll be on Discord and whatnot. I'll be around. I just will most likely not broadcast. However, you are going to have a substitute teacher with Darkwolf here. And she is going to be running a Nuzlocke Fire Red Pokemon game. Ooh. And if you all want to name a Pokemon, what she's going to be doing is we won't have capsules while I'm away, but she will take donations for the name incentive, and all the donations are going to pay our office upgrade. Because as soon as we clear that, I can move on to the next goal of getting a 3D printer, which also then means a lot of cool stuff that I can print up and send out to you all. So she's going to be doing that as a fun fundraiser to help, clear the debt from the office upgrade, and you all can get a Pokemon named after you, and she'll have some Pokemon fun with you all. So thank you all very much. Thus begins my summer vacation. It'll probably just be a working staycation for most of it. I will try and get out of town for a little bit, but then I have a lot of stuff in the background I got to do. Heck, I haven't even flipped over the 2-word adventure this week. Ah, darn it. All right, I'll get to it. But yes, thank you all for hanging out.
Always ask Raven to do
it. Stick around, because we're going to go raid someone. We are going to go raid... Ooh, we got some options here. I haven't raided him in a while. Let's go raid VexFX, who is still making his 3D cyberpunk game. And he is open to suggestions if you just want to watch him do the modeling and the game development. He's learning it from scratch himself just by doing it. And he's going to make this game freely available to everyone in his community. So if you joined up, if you're in his Discord or whatnot, when this is done, he's just going to keep adding to it and go from there. So thank you all very much. It has been a pleasure. I'll see you on Discord, and I'll be back at the end of the month on the 30th to give out minis for our monthly mini giveaway. And then sometime after that, a week or so, I will then do the summer vacation capsules, which are the big prizes. With that, speaking of towers, $250 tower set. That's a 3D, like you put at your table instead of up on a virtual screen like this. Let me get the raid command in. And go hang out with Vex. I wonder if I get to shoot some zombies in a game of Hangman there. We'll find out. But, oh yeah, Miller, yep, no problem. Make sure you, when you do, you remind me of it. And I'll see you all around. Be well. And Vex, there we go. Open up window. I swear I can do this. I've done this before.